Yo, what's up, guys? It's King Sean here, and we got some big breaking news here. Per Jordan Schultz, the Starbucks guy, if you know, you know, the Commanders have been shopping starting running back Brian Robinson Jr. to teams around the NFL. The former third-round pick out of Alabama is entering the last year of his contract, so this is real interesting. This comes a couple days after Ben Standing left comments on his podcast talking about how he believes Brian Robinson Jr. may not be on the week one roster come week one or come cut down day, right? Which was super interesting to me. And I included that in my video a couple of days ago, breaking down training camp and a lot of other stuff like the jersey schedule, think Terry as well, some roster moves, just a bunch of stuff I talked about in that video, and one of those things were Brian Robinson, and I talked about Ben Standing's comments, and I was like, I don't think B-Rob gets cut. Like, I love Jacory Crosby-Merritt. I think at some point he's going to be our starting running back, but I think they're going to go into the season with Brian Robinson Jr. as the starting running back. I feel like they still think highly of B-Rob, feel like he can, lead the backfield for the first couple weeks, and then as they increase Jacory Crosby-Merritt's opportunities and touches, I feel like it gets to a point where Jacory Crosby-Merritt will just be the full-on leading back in the backfield. But this shows that they are very confident in Merritt. I believe that the Commanders shopping B-Rob, placing him on the trade block, is not because it's someone has to do with, obviously, because he's not a great running back one, right? Like B-Rob, he's not a bad running back in this league. I believe he is a good running back, right? A lot of fans feel like he's a bad running back, and I don't believe that. I'm not one of those fans. I feel like B-Rob, he's a good running back. Is he a starting running back? No. I believe he's a complimentary running back. He can be a thunder sort of back, a power back to a team, and if we had one of the better running backs in the league, like one of the better running back ones in the league, I feel like B-Rob could have been our complement, right? However, over the past 3 years, B-Rob has not been great. Obviously, his rookie year, obviously got shot in the leg before the year started, so missed the first 5 games. He wasn't bad in his rookie year, all things considered, right? The circumstances. His second year, not amazing, but I feel like Eric Bieniemy is the primary cause as to why he wasn't putting up the greatest numbers in 2023, his sophomore season, because I feel like if we ran the ball more, B-Rob could have put up better numbers for sure. But this past season is the season I feel like fans really turned on him, especially after the bye week. I mean, he just wasn't having good performances versus Saints. Let me pull his stats up right now, but he hasn't even cracked 800 yards yet in his career, which is pretty crazy to think about. But versus the Saints, he had 21 carries for 65 yards, 3.1 yards a carry. The next game versus Philly had 2 fumbles and 2.4 yards a carry. The Falcons game wasn't bad, but he was not amazing in that game. And then the Cowboys game, the Bucks game, and the Eagles game in the playoffs, they were not great games for B-Rob. So you can see why a lot of fans turn on him during the late stretch of the season, the back end of the season, right? He wasn't putting on great numbers, and, not all of the blame is on him. The run blocking by the O-line was not great, especially on the interior, but B-Rob, he wasn't seeing it well. I mean, his vision was not good, and his vision hasn't been great. Like, he does not have the greatest vision for a running back, but, like, last year, during the second half of the year, he just did not have great vision. He dealt with injuries, dealt with 3 separate leg injuries throughout the course of the year, caused him to miss some games, and he was slowing down, and all of those things combined kind of just led B-Rob to fall off during the second half of the year. And fans wanted better at running back one. They wanted better at running back, and Jacory Crosby-Merritt, man, he's been balling out during training camp, and he balled out versus the Patriots in the first preseason game. Only 7 carries for 24 yards, but man, you saw his quickness, you saw his elusiveness, his agility, man. All the things we wanted in a starting running back, things that B-Rob doesn't have. So that is why we're so excited for Jacory Crosby-Merritt. And it's the reason why the Commanders front office, Adam Peters and company, were fine with shopping B-Rob and placing him on the trade block, see if there will be any suitor for him. Now, will there, you know, typically teams don't trade for running backs. We all know this. And for a guy like B-Rob, it's going to be hard to find a trade partner for him. Like, B-Rob isn't a bad running back, but he's not a great running back. Like, what teams could really want him? I'm trying to think. I know the Titans, they got Tony Pollard, Tyjae Spears. I think Tyjae Spears is dealing with an injury, though. So, you know, maybe them. The Bears, they got DeAndre Swift. Like, there's not a lot of suitors for B-Rob. I really have to think. Maybe I make a video about that later this week about potential suitors for B-Rob. So, you know, we'll see if he actually ends up being traded. We'll probably only get like a day 3 pick, a late day 3 pick, maybe a 7th or 6th, maybe a 5th round pick at best. But don't expect to get a lot for a guy like Brian Robinson Jr. with him being a running back and a not very great starting running back, right? He's still a good running back, I believe that, but he's not a great overall running back. So without B-Rob, our running back room will look like this. Ja'Cory Cross-Camara as your running back 1. At least we all assume. I assume that. I feel like, you know, although B-Rob isn't a great running back, I feel like them shopping him is more of Bill just looking so good rather than B-Rob not being a great starting running back, right? Although the two go kind of hand in hand, I feel like it's more leaning towards the side of, hey man, Bill is amazing. We got to give this guy a chance to prove that he can be our starting running back, right? Austin Eckler as your running back 2. He's your receiving back / third back. And then you'd have Jerry McNichols. And if you want to keep a 4th running back, it will be Chris Rodriguez Jr. So honestly, I think you can survive with that backfield. Like, if Ja'Cory Cross-Camara turns out to be what we think he could be, I feel like that backfield is fine without B-Rob. And I would not mind having, you know, that backfield for this season, because I really think Ja'Cory Cross-Camara, a.k.a. Bill, is going to turn out to be an absolute dog for us. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're not already subbed up. Turn on notifications. Again, big news. B-Rob is on the trade block. And Adam Peters has shown that, hey, he ain't scared of getting rid of, you know, the old regimes and stuff, right? Like Jahan Dotson, we did not expect him to get traded last offseason, and he did. And honestly, it's around the same time, right? Jahan got traded after the 2nd preseason game. B-Rob, it's been reported that he's on the trade block. 2nd preseason game is tomorrow. He could get traded after the 2nd preseason game, right? We'll see, but, you know, just leave your thoughts down below about B-Rob being shopped and placed on the trade block. Other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.